So what are Newport Beach homeowners doing when they want to sell, but there's nothing for them to buy? Hey guys, before I get into it, just make sure if you're new to this channel to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos. It's the freest, cheapest way to support my mission of helping you guys learn more about Newport Beach. Now let's get into it. The biggest objection I get from homeowners in the Newport Beach area is, Robert, I want to sell, but what I want to buy isn't available. And what I've learned is there's two kinds of people. There's the person that knows they want to sell for one reason or another and says, I don't care what I have to do, I'm going to make this happen. And then there's the person that's like, I know I need to sell, but I don't have to sell that bad. I'll just wait for a better time. So if you're watching this video and you're person number one, which is, hey, I don't really care what the situation is. I don't care what the inventory situation's like or the interest rates are like I have to move. I'm talking to you. So what do you do if you have to sell, but what you're looking for doesn't exist? So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about what our clients are doing with hopes that maybe you see this video and it gives you hope that you can make it happen. The very first strategy is the all-in strategy. That's the, I'm gonna list my house, I'm gonna sell my house, and then I'm gonna negotiate a rent back from my buyer to give me time to find something. Now, all the terms are negotiable. There's no one size fits all. You could do a 1 month rent back, you can do a 3 month rent back, you can do a 6 month rent back, you can do a 12 month rent back. I've seen people ask for 5 years. Now, obviously, the longer the rent back, the harder it is gonna be to find a buyer. But generally, we see sellers asking for anywhere from 3 to 6 months to give them time to sell their property and actually find a new home to move into to submit an offer on. Now, obviously, there are some pros and cons, right? The pros with this strategy is that you sell your home and you actually have the money in the bank to be a strong buyer. The cons are there is a chance you may not find something in the time frame of the rent back that you've negotiated, at which point you may have to find temporary housing. I will say this, I've been doing this for 19 years and we've only had one person not be able to find their home in that rent back period. So we will do everything we can to make it happen for you. The second strategy is sell your home contingent on finding a new home. Now this is a much safer approach for the seller, you, but it creates a lot of uncertainty for the seller on the home you want to buy, as well as the buyer that's looking to buy your home. So let me expand a little bit. If you're selling your home contingent on finding a new property, basically what you're saying is, hey, I wanna sell my house, and if you submit an offer, I'll accept your offer, but if I can't find a property to move into, the deal's off. Now, put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Most buyers right now, they don't wanna wait. They wanna get their offer accepted on a home, they wanna lock in their rate, and they wanna move in. Now, if there's a rent back, yeah, they're willing to accommodate maybe, but the whole let me wait and see if you could find a property does create a lot of uncertainty for them. So the downside to this strategy, although it creates certainty for you, the buyer may not be loyal. They're probably gonna keep looking for properties, and if they find another home that they like that meets their needs, they're gonna submit an offer. If their offer is accepted, they're gonna terminate the contract with you and you're back to square one. The second downside to this approach is that when you're submitting offers on other properties, the sellers are gonna look at you and go, well, hey, I've got X amount of offers and all the offers I have right now are non-contingent, but you are basically saying that you still have to sell your home before you can buy my home and you haven't even sold it yet. So I'm gonna go with another buyer that's more ready, that has the money in the bank. So it makes you a weak buyer. The third option is the move out option. So essentially, if you move out of your home, you're committing to the sale. Now, I wanna tell you a cool story. I had a family that owned a property in Mission Viejo, and they had to sell their home because they were running out of space. They needed something bigger, and what they wanted was very tight. They wanted a house in a specific neighborhood in Mission Viejo that had a 3-car garage, and there was not many of those around. And so what they said was, hey, this might take 6 months, this might take 12 months. I've always wanted to live in Laguna Beach, so I'm gonna get an Airbnb in Laguna Beach, and I'm just gonna move out and put all my stuff in a pod, and then I'm gonna have my house staged so that it shows like a model home, and I don't have to accommodate any showings. Now, Here's the cool thing. Most sellers go, I'm not gonna pay $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 for an Airbnb. I'm trying to maximize the amount of money I get from my sale by staying in my house, and I'll just deal with showings. Well, we actually analyzed the cost of what the rental was versus the cost, how much more she sold her home for. And because she moved out, and because we were able to stage the property and showcase it like a metaphorical model home, and because the property was vacant, and because buyers could go at any time of the day, we had exponentially more showings, and we received offers about $80,000 higher than what we originally thought because buyers fell in love with the property. So my clients actually made $65,000 net to them on their bottom line by moving out and spending money on an Airbnb. They got to live in Laguna Beach for 5 months, and they didn't have to deal with all the showings. So obviously, this kind of goes in alignment with the first option, which is the all-in option. If you move out, you're committing to the sale, but you're giving yourself enough time to find the right property when it pops up. And the last option is the pocket listing option. So you wanna sell, but there's really nothing for you to move into, and you're a little bit nervous about listing your property. You don't wanna go all in, you don't wanna commit. And so maybe you talk to a great agent, a resourceful agent that basically says, tell me what you're looking for and let me go find it. Right now in Newport Beach, lots of properties are selling off market. And so if we know exactly where you wanna live, what neighborhood you wanna live in, we can send mailers to homeowners that might be interested in selling, maybe off market. We can knock on doors. We've knocked on doors and we've uncovered opportunities from people that wanna sell but don't necessarily wanna list. And there's also expired listings. Expired listings are homeowners that tried to sell at one point, but were unsuccessful. And so when we mail to these people, we door knock these people, we call and door knock expired listings. If we uncover somebody that has interest in selling, we might be able to match make and help you buy their property and sell your property concurrently, so you don't have to worry about selling to somebody and not being able to, find the right home. You don't have to worry about selling to somebody and not be able to, make it work with your timeline. So that's the message today. Right now, as we talk to homeowners, they're always worried about listing their home and not being able to find something that they can move into. So if any of these resonate with you, or if you have any questions and you want to go deeper, send me a message, leave a comment. I'd love to know from you and your perspective, what would you do? Would you list your home and go all in, or would you prefer the pocket listing? Talk to you guys next time.